Hello beautiful people, it's Sinderfam. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be checking this video together. Let's check it out.
The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had.
So it looks like this feud between Katt Williams and Steve Harvey might turn into a physical one, because Katt just clapped back at Steve after Steve publicly threatened to knock him out. Now, if y'all remember, Katt had some very nasty things to say about Steve a few months ago when he dragged everybody in the industry for filth and exposed all of the sinister things that all of them have been up to get to where they are now. Katt even went as far as name-dropping people, and one of the people that he mentioned was Steve. Steve initially tried to act unbothered by not responding, but it looks like he was actually very much bothered and pressed, because he recently decided to respond to Katt more than 7 months after Katt's interview, and he straight up to rough up Katt next time he laid eyes on him. Now, as most of y'all already know, Katt Williams has never liked Steve Harvey, and he made it very clear earlier this year when he slammed Steve for being a thief and an industry plant. It all went down back in January of this year when Katt appeared in an explosive interview with Shannon Sharpe and went off on his fellow comedians in the industry, including Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Ricky Smiley, and Steve.
Faison's never done his own tour in 30 years. Steve Harvey don't do stand-up no more. Cedric doesn't write. I'm sorry, he doesn't write. Ricky Smiley has been playing the same old black woman forever. Like, you can't get a young fan base with that.
Katt accused Steve of being jealous of the late Bernie Mac and claimed that Steve was against Bernie when he was alive, but as soon as he died, he stole Bernie's whole style. Not only that, but Katt slammed Steve for stealing jokes from Mark Curry and passing them off as his own. Katt also slammed Steve for being a talentless fraud and said that there was a time when Steve used to go telling people he wasn't interested in being a movie star, when the real tea was nobody wanted Steve in their movie because he was just a Bernie Mac wannabe and didn't have a drop of talent.
The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business, and it's a man unit. Then you ask it, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good, oh, baby, and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't.
Oh my goodness, Katt Williams came ready. And this was what? January 2024, and we're in all September. Pardon, we were in September. Ooh. That was interesting.
Like Mr. Potato Head, there ain't none. You would have to have range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Katt Williams in there. Why? Because the whole time Bernie was here, you was acting like you was funnier than him. The reason you was supposed to go last is because it was your tour. Tell the truth. It was Steve's tour. Not it was going to be called the Kings of Comedy. It was Steve's tour. These are the guys opening for him. Of course you got to close if it's your tour. That's why it was such a big deal.
Oh, but he wasn't done with Steve just yet. He went on to accuse Steve of lying about being homeless just so he could get some sympathy points from the public. According to Katt, Steve has never been homeless a day of his life. And around the time that Steve was lying to folks that he was homeless, he was actually making up to $3,000 a night touring with Mark Curry.
Less than you. This is like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her. Then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history. Guy Torrey did a beautiful special about the Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made... All lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory.
Katt also accused Steve of allegedly receiving payments from some very questionable people in the industry.
This never really gets old. Like, every time I listen to this, it's more like Katt Williams just said it yesterday or last week. It never gets old, really.
Receiving payments from some very questionable people in the industry to not speak on certain things. Katt also claimed that the reason that Steve stopped doing stand-up comedy shows was because he humiliated the hell out of Steve during a stand-up show a couple years ago. That was in front of 10,000 people, and this bruised Steve's ego real bad.
They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves. I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went in, and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big and it was Bernie and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean 11 to get that part. What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star?
After this interview, a lot of people were on Katt's side, and as you can imagine, they flooded Steve's comments and dragged him out for being a fraud. At the time, Steve acted like he was above responding to Katt and decided to post this clip of him talking about how haters always gonna have the nastiest thing to say, and that people shouldn't give their haters the satisfaction of getting a reaction out of them. You know, the kind of thing a guilty person would do to deflect from the topic at hand.
Oh no, you ain't gotta tell nobody nothing. All you gotta do is be it. You ain't gotta say, you don't have to open your mouth. You don't have to do it, man. He prepares a table in the presence of mine enemies. He do it all the time. All my haters, I ain't gotta say nothing to them. They got TV. They can cut their TV on 7 days a week. All that hating, he on there. Oh man, I don't even worry about it. You know, I've learned how to handle haters, man. And the only reason you have haters is because you're effective. You have haters for 2 reasons. You're doing something that they're jealous of, or God is preparing to take you somewhere and the devil is providing opposition. Those are the reasons you have haters. God is about to do something and the devil has to throw opposition. Those are the 2 reasons you have haters. I got plenty of haters. When I get them, man, I always look and see what God finna do. Like I got somebody really attacking me right now. I mean, really going after me, man. I'm just waiting to see what God gonna do. Cause they're gonna have to get on. Now, everybody that came after me before, you eventually had to get on. Cause they can't listen to me, man. Can't nobody stop what God got for you. And nobody, there ain't a man living can stop not one thing God got for you. Don't even worry about them haters, man. Just all you gotta do is just keep shining. They see you. You ain't got to say nothing. And plus, how they gonna hate if they don't watch? They on my Instagram page right now watching, see what else. I don't even post nothing. I got people do that. I don't even, really. I can't stand you. You always. I ain't even posted, dog, tell you the truth. So I just let them hate, man. And that's all you got to do, man. Just keep living your life.
But like I said, people could see through all that, and they went off on him even more. Like this person who said, guilty people usually can't sit idle when the truth about them is aired to the public. Steve replied that he don't address haters. If he was innocent of what has been said, then an innocent person would have used the code. Silence is how you address haters. Another person said, I'm not gonna address the haters, man. Spends next 2 minutes addressing the haters, saying a whole lot of nothing. Accused accused of being a snake to Bernie, brings up God, get the F out of here. Well, it looks like people were right, and that Steve's speech about not responding to the haters was just a load of BS that he was hiding behind to not have to address Katt. Because after a whole 7 months of this interview being out, Steve is just now clapping back at Katt, and it's safe to say nobody was out here for his weak response. During a recent interview, Steve went on a rant about haters once again, and then he started going off on a particular hater that a lot of people assumed was Katt. He said none of his haters are doing better than him, and that the next time any of his haters mention him again, he's going back to his old ways and knocking them out. Now, like I already said, folks felt like Steve was a little too late to the party, and that he should have vented out all this anger back in January when all this mess was still fresh. Not now, when most of us already wrapping up the whole year getting ready for Christmas. One person said, "Steve, please, we almost in 2025. You're late." He definitely feels away. The cursing and name-calling shows it. Katt never called that man out his name, but he did speak truth. Truth always gets a certain type of reaction, and this is one of them. Another person said that Katt interview was 5,698 hours ago. We've been through 3 seasons, 5 U.S. holidays, 40 U.S. Olympic gold medals, a new presidential candidate, and a partridge in a pear tree, and you just now responding? We good. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Steve seemingly threatening to harm Katt? And do y'all think Steve was actually talking about Katt? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down.
Exactly. We're almost at the end of 2025, and Steve is just now responding for something that Katt Williams said in 2024, the beginning of 2024. Like, really? And the fact that he took time to respond, like, imagine he's been bottling or holding this for a really long time and wanted to spill, wanted to share, wanted to say something. The most interesting part is not one of them or not one person have said what Katt Williams said or spoke about in that interview was a lie. I mean, so what is it? And Katt Williams came with hit in the beginning of 2024 that shook the entire entertainment, the industry itself. That just like he said, all hell, whether you be whatever, and he mentioned lots of names, and apparently all lies will be exposed. But this was interesting regardless. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment down below. Do you think Steve Harvey, you shouldn't have waited too long, you should have responded, or you think that it was the right move for him to wait long to respond so he doesn't say nothing that he would regret? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment down below. What exactly are your thoughts regarding this feud between Steve Harvey and Katt Williams? I'm sure you have interesting things to share in the comment down below. I would really love your thoughts. You can share the useful information you think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next